Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back for reals this time, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 89 of Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in as always. It is Tuesday, the 25th of June, and it was a hot one today.
Yeah, about 100. We almost got in the triple digits. I think it was like 99.
Yeah, we almost cracked that hundo.
Yeah, felt like it.
But it is episode 89, and that means that this week we are featuring one of the best people to wear the number 89, and that is Mr. Mike Ditka.
He's a guy that I feel like you could just, if you didn't even know anything about football, if maybe you were just like living in New Zealand or something, all you watched is rugby, and then you just see a picture of Mike Ditka, you'd be like, yeah, that guy, he's famous
like
for football.
Playing Jesse.
Yeah.
And the name alone just sounds like a football player.
Mike Ditka, man. Yeah. Some of those guys back in the day, like Ray Ninksch, Mean Joe Green, those guys had
good
real foot. Brian Urlacher, I felt like, had one of the best
names. That was a good name,
yeah. But let's get into Mike Ditka.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so as an American former football player and coach and television commentator during his playing career, he was UPI NFL Rookie of the Year in 1961. Obviously, this is before the merger. A 5-time Pro Bowl selection and a 6-time All-Pro tight end with the Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, and Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. He was inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame in 1986 and Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1988. Ditka was the first tight end in NFL history to reach 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, and he was an NFL champion with the 1963 Bears and is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, playing on the Cowboys' Super Bowl VI team, winning as an assistant coach for the Cowboys in Super Bowl XII, and coaching the Bears to victory in Super Bowl XX. He was named to the NFL's 75th and 100th anniversary all-time teams. As a head coach for the Bears from 82 to 92, he was twice the AP and UPI NFL Coach of the Year. He was also head coach of the New Orleans Saints from 1997 till 1999.
So he was a coach during that 85 Bears run.
Yep, with Tom McMahon and all those guys.
Or
Jim McMahon. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, so I recently watched that NFL Films thing that I was telling you about with all those different players on MGM Plus, and one of them was on Mike Singletary, and it really focused in on that 85 Bears run, and it's unreal how dominant they were.
Yeah, they kicked ass.
Yeah.
They were really good on the old defensive side of the ball.
I think when you got a guy like Mike Ditka in charge, you got a good chance of dominating.
Yeah, I mean, just the name alone, you're like, we should probably listen to this guy.
Or we're going to get yelled at.
Chad's pumping. It's
going down. The French press is the only way to go.
Is it? He swears by it, people. But
it's way fresher. Tastes way better.
Yeah. So let's roll down some of his accolades. So he was, like Chad mentioned, Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1961, 2-time first-team All-Pro 63-64, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler 1961 through 1965. His number 89, has been retired by the Bears. He is on the list of the 100 greatest Bears of all time. He was a unanimous All-American in 1960, 2-time first-team All-Eastern, 1959-1960, and the Pittsburgh Panthers have also retired his number.
And then as a coach, 2-time Super Bowl champion and 2-time Coach of the Year, 85 and 88.
Dang old Coach of the Year.
Back when the Bears were good.
Yeah, his total statistics as a player, receptions, 427 of them, thangs, and his receiving yards, 5,812, and 43 receiving touchdowns. So
it's pretty impressive.
Pretty good for back then, in the day.
Oh, and we didn't even talk about his movie career.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know anything else other than Kicking and Screaming, but I fucking love that movie.
It is a very good movie.
I said the F word 5 minutes in.
Well,
I'm ruined it.
There goes our chance at being rich.
Let's start over.
Start over again.
Yeah.
2 times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That movie was hilarious. He was really good in it.
And also, I just saw here, he's known by the nickname Iron Mike.
Yeah.
Which says he got from being born and raised in a steel town in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I wonder if Mike Tyson kind of has a problem with that.
Maybe, but he technically would have had it second, I guess.
Can you imagine have a celebrity death match with those two?
Yeah.
That'd be
With
badass,
Iron Mikes.
dude.
I think they tried to bring back Celebrity Deathmatch not too long ago, and it was not nearly as good as the originals.
No, they never brought it back. Last time I heard, they were trying to. It was like 4 years ago. Ice Cube was supposed to be like an executive producer of it, and then it never made it to production. I was so bummed, man, because that was like really one of my favorite shows.
It was a really good show back in the day.
I know it. Yeah,
Really
Mike
good
DITKA
one.
versus Mike Tyson, because they really wouldn't have like combinations that you would expect, like Britney Spears versus Christina Aguilera. It'd be like some random shit, like Mike DITKA and Mike Tyson. So, yeah. Either way, and that's what we have here is an old school Bears logo right there.
The Bears.
I ordered all these like football stickers of all the different NFL logos, and they sent me like 12 of the old school ones. You remember this one? What
The
city?
Bombers. Is that New York?
I think it's Boston. The Boston Bombers.
Boston Bombers.
No, that
does-
probably can't be right.
Well,
That's
it's
probably
also nowadays you don't. It's not a good
you
thing.
can't say that. Yeah. I wonder where that's from.
I don't know. Let's see.
NFL team Bombers.
Yeah.
We're gonna educate ourselves here.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Bombers.
Nice.
All
right. Well, that's cool.
Well, now I want to find out when they were around.
I think it was like in the 30s or 40s, if I'm not mistaken. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because the other one, there's the New York Football Giants, but I mean that logo right there. I mean, this is like the Giants. You know, that's nearly 100 years that they've been around. Some of these old logos look pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of funny how some of the. I mean, we don't have the Goofy Broncos one, but
Yeah.
looks like a goober.
You don't need that one.
Goober horse.
What do you think about the uni little preview? How they showed some of the players on their media day.
Oh,
Zach Wilson was one of
yeah,
them.
Zach Wilson had cool hair.
Yeah,
He was like slick back.
he's like, I'm out for the
He's ready
milfs.
for some moms.
Yeah, dude, he's just gonna
Bring
get
the
dumped
moms
out
on, man.
forever. But
What?
don't hit it, man.
Oh, I was just going to say, we are doing things a little bit differently tonight. Our guest is going to be hopping on in like 2 minutes. We got D. Orlando Ledbetter. He was a 2022 Georgia Sports Writer of the Year, and he also works for the Atlanta Journal. What is it? It's something weird. It's like Constitution.
Yeah, I think that was it, actually. Yeah, this guy is very acclaimed. If you are in Georgia...
Yeah, Atlanta Journal Constitutions, which is just very weird that that's what it's called.
I know. Or if you're just been in sports journalism for the last 30 years, you've heard of Orlando Ledbetter. We were just YouTubing some of his past interviews, and we saw he was on Dan Patrick back in April.
Yeah. So
explaining a prediction that
we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
So,
well,
we've got like a minute, but
you know what? Let's just hit it.
let's just hit it. You want me to just call him?
Yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds. I was going to hope that it would change to 5:10 while I was saying Dirty Birds, but it didn't. Son of a
Just
bitch.
say it again. Just
Dirty
keep saying it.
Birds.
You really like saying dirty birds, dude.
All right, they're just going to call him. Here we go.
Let's do it. I got a burp shit.
Okay.
Please answer.
I have a few things that I would like to share with you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, is this D. Orlando Ledbetter on the line?
One, I did already.
Yes, I was on a Zoom call. I had to turn that down.
Oh, sorry. Did we get you? We tried to call you right at 5:10.
We can call
Oh,
back
no,
if we need
that's
to.
good. No. They knew that I had a call coming in.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to do that. We really appreciate it. My name's Chris.
Sure, no problem.
And you've got Chadley over here as well.
Hello.
We appreciate you coming on.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Are we live now? Or
We're live on Twitch right now, and then we'll be putting out the video and the audio later tomorrow.
Yeah, we just get right into
oh, okay. Alrighty.
Yeah. But so once again, thank you. We really greatly respect, your whole career and everything that you bring to the table when it comes to sports journalism. Huge inspiration for us. So if you don't mind, can you give us our listeners a little bit of a rundown of your background and like what got you into sports journalism?
Yeah, no question about it. Thanks for having me on the show, and pleasure, and appreciate the kind words. Just kind of started out in junior high school writing for the student newspaper, and ended up majoring in that in college. I did the high schools for a while. We used to all have to start out doing high schools back then, and eventually moved on to help out on Ohio State and the Bengals.
Wow. Okay.
And ended up going up to Green Bay, well, actually Milwaukee, to help with the Packers and as a Marquette basketball writer. And during that time, got a law degree at Cincinnati, passed the bar in Wisconsin, and actually was practicing law in Atlanta when my wife moved down here for a banking job. And the paper called, and I decided to get back into the journalism business and been here since 2003. Started out covering high schools in the ACC and the SEC, and then been covering the Falcons since 2005, and in 2008 as the main Falcons writer.
Nice. That's awesome.
Wow. So you were right there during the Mike Vick days, huh?
Oh, yeah, and I got to use my law degree that year. Going to the courthouse and so forth up in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, man, yeah, that was a little controversial time there, unfortunately. But
no doubt, no doubt,
man. So we don't get too many like sports writers / lawyers on, man. You're a man of many hats, indeed.
Yeah, and it's come in handy because when I was at Cincinnati, I was on the team that covered the Pete Rose trial. So
Wow.
it kind of worked out for me a couple times here.
Yeah, you got a whole different insight into that stuff when you're writing about it, for sure.
And, yeah, you got access to your professors who don't normally like to be in the paper, but, they want to make sure you have your legal stuff right. So one of my professors at Cincinnati knew one of the procedural guys in Virginia that could help in the case, and that he was at the University of Richmond Law. So that was helpful for sure.
Wow, well, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to have a law degree and do all the sports journalism, man, that's a lot.
Modern day Renaissance, man.
Yeah, seriously. That's a great way to put it.
You guys are too kind. You're too kind.
Well, let's get into some Falcons. I did want to talk about you were probably one of the few people that had the Falcons drafting Michael Penix on your mock draft as far back as April. Why did you know they were going to do that?
But I was like, hey, they're really digging into this Penix guy. And nobody believed them because they need some help on the defensive side of the ball, like the pass rush. And, but with that information, let me at least have one mock draft out there with him taking Penix because everybody's telling me that. So then I looked smart, but it wasn't my final pick. But I thought they would go over to Lata, but it was one of the mock drafts leading up to the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had it, and I mean, it shocked everybody. So the fact that you even had it on one of your previous mock drafts, I mean, that says a lot right there. And what do you think of him? What's your thoughts? I mean, you got Kirk Cousins there. Kirk Cousins coming back from that Achilles injury. How's that recovery going? Is he on his way to start week 1? As for everything I've heard, he's on track to do that.
Yeah, it looks like it. He was doing a lot. He was doing a lot over the off season. They clearly had rules to stay away from him and so forth, so he can work as much as he could. And so forth, but no running, no rolling out, no real stress. As far as drop back, planting, and throwing, look pretty good. Looks pretty good, and he said 9 months which would be August the 1st, and some Achilles doctors say 9 to 12 months, which would be October. 8 games into the season. Well, September, about 4 or 5 games in. So, if they have to, Tyler Heineke could start. And don't rush him back. And you got Penix too if you got to play him early, you might you have a shot if Kirk can't make it all the way back. But it looks great so far. But I just know those Achilles can be tricky, and we're going to have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it's usually quite the healing process.
And we really haven't even seen if Rodgers can come back from it yet. We haven't really seen him. So, there really hasn't been too many players bounce back from that. We've seen in basketball, there's not a whole lot of players even come back in basketball. It's a really grueling injury. But looking at some of these stats here for Penix, if he does happen to take over, I think you guys are going to be in good hands. I mean, Penix is the first FBS player with 4,500 or more passing yards in 2 straight seasons since Patty Mahomes did it in 2015 and 16. So, I mean, we watched a lot of, we're here in Colorado, so we watch a lot of Pac-12 games. We watched a lot of Michael Penix games. We watch him put up a lot on CU. Yeah. So the guy's got accuracy like I've never seen before. He is a left-handed quarterback, so that adds another dynamic to it. So I don't know. Chris, why don't you talk about how much money Kirk Cousins has made?
Well, we all know Kirk Cousins is only second behind Rodgers in terms of money made. I think he's at $330 million now total. But his agent came out and said, they didn't know that they were going to be drafting Penix until it happened, basically. Is there worries about Penix's injury history? I mean, that was why he fell in the draft anyways. But it seemed like most of the stuff he's worked through. He had a full season last year. But yeah, it is a sticking point for sure. So I'm just wondering if the organization is leery about that as well, or are they full go?
We wanted to address the medical history, and they seem to be fine with the fact that he hasn't been hurt since he left Indiana, and that he's bounced back and recovered from all 4, I believe it's 4 of the injuries, to let you know that he's not a sitting duck back there. Although he did get pummeled in that game, that was more impressive to me than some of the throws to Adunze, who I fell in love with last season watching them play.
Oh, man, that guy's impressive. I'm really excited to see what he does on the Bears. It seemed like any ball he put within 10 feet of Adunze, he pulled down. Oh,
yeah, no doubt. That was awesome watching them play last season.
Yeah, he had some good wide receivers there. Let's shift gears a little bit here. So you got a new offensive coordinator there this year. Do you think the addition of Zach Robinson from the McVay coaching tree as the Falcons play caller will help utilize some of the weapons that they have on offense, like Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't put a lot of stock in these rookie offensive coordinators. I don't know if he's ever called a game. Well, I know he hasn't called an NFL game. I tried to go back and study how he played at Oklahoma State with Des Bryant and them, and he ran a lot more than what the Falcons quarterback is going to be doing. He stay with the run game and then throw play action off of it before he gets to spread it out and move the ball around the field like he kind of wants to and has talked about.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're going to be, a little bit more of a run-heavy team this year for sure. That would be nice, but I think that's definitely going to lead to them being able to open it up eventually. We'll see how it goes in the early going with Kirk Cousins learning all of this, and especially not being able to fully, participate, so to speak, in the OTAs and stuff like that. And but my question is about Raheem Morris. This is his second go-round as a coach, isn't it?
He's a second-time coach. You're not guessing about, hey, how's this guy going to handle being a head coach before? He knows what he's doing. He's had experience on the offensive side of the ball and has been a defensive coordinator in the league. So this is about the best hire they've made in, a long, long time that had the full package and you weren't guessing about him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm glad you mentioned the Shanahan thing, because Zach Robinson coming from the McVay tree, which then stems from the bigger tree, which is the Shanahan tree. I think, and now we'll go to the quote where Bijan Robinson had said earlier, like about a month ago, saying that I want them to use me like Christian McCaffrey, which is his coach is Kyle Shanahan. So I'm wondering if Zach Robinson is kind of really going to take a lot of McVay's pages from his playbook and really just kind of run a running back to the ground almost. Like that's what they do with Christian McCaffrey. That's what they did last year with Kyron Williams, and they had a lot of success with it. And now you got the defensive guy with Raheem Morris, and I really think they have a lot of the recipes there for success if they just kind of run Bijan to the ground almost.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, I'll go all the way back to Washington with Alfred Morris getting 1,600 yards for 3 years in a row, getting ran out of the league. But Bobby Turner, they don't have Bobby Turner here as a running back coach. He's one of the best to ever do it. You guys know about him from his time with the elder Shanahan. Mm-hmm. So McCaffrey, got to look at McCaffrey, how he's been used.
I really think that they could do that, and with that whole coaching tree, I think we're going to see a lot of that with that, the pass heavy, and Bijan Robinson, that's what, like you said, when they went down and worked him out there in Texas, that's what he was really famous for and got drafted so high for, is because he's a good pass catching running back. So I think I'll be taking him pretty high in my fantasy drafts.
That's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah. Well, and also, with the Raheem Morris and stuff, just looking through the draft, you can definitely tell that there was a focus on the defensive side. As they go out, they get an inside linebacker, 3 defensive tackles. They're definitely looking to bolster up that defensive line. Do you think that's going to be a strong point this year, or is it still going to be kind of up in the air with a bunch of young guys?
Well, it should be. The young guys should be depth guys who will take over in a year or two. They're hoping Grady Jarrett can make it back, speed and ready to play. They didn't have that kind of depth the last 3 years under Coach Arthur Smith. So that's exactly what he was doing. They did a good job with the Rams and replacing that line last year with some rookie draft picks. So you got to think they know what they're doing on that side of the football.
That would be nice because they definitely could use the help there.
Yeah. Well, what about, you got Kyle Pitts there. Kyle Pitts drafted really high, like we just talked about with Zach Robinson, kind of utilizing these guys. He really hasn't had that breakout season. Do you think this is going to be the year? I mean, Kirk Cousins, if he is healthy, he's been famous for throwing to his tight ends. He did a good job when Hawkinson was still in Minnesota. So I have a hunch that this could be his breakout year. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be. He had the 1,000 yards as a rookie, came close to Ditka's record, but with extra games. But then it just didn't happen with Mariota and Ritter at quarterback and an injury thrown in there. So as far as I can tell, he looks a lot better. He's running crisper routes again. Can Kirk Cousins find him or put it where he's not throwing him into danger and into traffic like Matt used to do? And perhaps you do have the unicorn type of receiver that they thought they were drafting with the 4th overall pick. So we'll be looking to see how much the ball's in the air. If they're running 7-on-7, is he catching it? Is he moving away from people? We'll get a good look at it this time around. And if the quarterback starts running in 7-on-7, that's always a bad thing.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Never good, yeah. We had Tim Tebow here, and I don't even think they practiced 7-on-7 because it was just pointless.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Chad's a Chiefs fan, so he's, living in the lap of luxury right now with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, so, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I think we get you guys prime time sometime this year. I can't quite remember. Isn't it a Monday night game or something?
Game 3. Game 3, I believe, is Sunday night.
That's right.
Yeah, because the Eagles is Monday night. Yeah, they open up with the Steelers, Eagles, Chiefs, so we'll know right away.
Oh wow,
what they got coming here.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. Well, you just mentioned it. They got a tough couple games there to begin. What do you think? I mean, if you had to guess, if you had to put money on it, so to speak, what do you think the Falcons are going to end up this year in terms of record?
Yeah, I think it's very, plausible to see them in a double-digit win situation after that start. Everything else is on the table. You should have a chance to win those games. They've been solid at home. Those will be the key to whether they can get to 10 or 12 wins in the NFC South. or they're a 9-9 well, I'll get that numbers always throw me off now. Now we got the extra game there, so 9-9, 9-7, 9-8. Yeah, so that 9-8 won't get you anything. 10-7 might get you a wild card. You got a shot to start turning this thing around.
Well, especially there in the NFC South, I think you guys got to, if you get 10 wins, you could possibly win the division. The Buccaneers are obviously the team to beat. The Panthers and Saints should be pretty easy, especially if Derek Carr is still throwing down there. But I'm honestly rooting for you guys. I would like to see a different team win the NFC South and kind of throw a little bit more excitement in the NFC South, so to speak.
Mix it up.
Yeah, no doubt. I would definitely do it. They've been down here since, 2017, haven't had a winning season. Had that, Mike Smith turned it around here in 2008, and then Coach Quinn had it rolling before, it went off the tracks, and they haven't been able to put it back together. And the fans are getting a little thirsty for some winning football here down in the South, while the college team's been putting up national championships left and right. So
it's definitely rough.
If they both get rolling, it's football's king down here. Doesn't matter. The fans are still coming. But that's just where they are right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we don't want to keep you too much longer. We know you are an incredibly busy man, so we'll let you go on this one. We did just want to say again, we greatly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to hop on with us and chat the Falcons. If, maybe in the early parts of the season or something, if you're not too busy, maybe we can have you hop back on and chat about the Falcons at like the quarter point or something.
Or the Bulldogs, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll be ready for both, guys. Thanks for having me on the Fringe Fanatic Sportscast. A fanatic.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, that was damn good, man. I'll take it.
Hell yeah. Hey, man, you're a legend, and we do greatly appreciate it. And, yeah, we'd be so honored to have you on later in the season. We'll touch you. We'll give you plenty of time. We'll hit you up beforehand. But thanks again, Orlando.
Sure, no problem. Let's do it. You all take care, and thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, man. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Bye now.
Bye.
All right, man.
I didn't hang up on him early. Look at us go.
That was cordial, man.
Yeah, very
that was
cordial.
Nice. Yeah.
I waited until he was done.
Very amicable exit.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was great, man.
That was awesome, man.
Pretty cool. We keep moving up the list. We've got 2-time Emmy winners. We've got 2022 Georgia SPORTSWRITERS of the Years.
Yeah, guy was just on Dan Patrick a few months ago.
Yeah, so, we're moving on up, guys. I hope that you are moving on up with us.
I just hope they're ready to catch up because we're rolling.
Yeah, you guys need to jump on this train because it ain't stopping.
Damn right, man. That was awesome, dude. Orlando really knows his Falcons football, and I'd be interested to talk to him about the Georgia Bulldogs too because I didn't even think about that. It's of course, they've been so spoiled with Bulldogs that they've, obviously you want your Falcons to do well, but, a little saving grace when Georgia's been so dominant.
Yeah, you don't really have to worry about it when you got the other team winning on Saturdays. I guess what's the difference?
I know. But, we should see if it'll be interesting to see if Georgia's still as good this year because I got a good feeling that Alabama is going to be taking the #1 spot, reclaiming their throne.
Maybe. They're always right there.
But Nick Saban's not there this year. That's going to be pretty fascinating.
Oh, no. Yep. We don't even – what's the coach's name? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. He came from Washington, right? Yeah, it was Washington because I remember asking Steve about it. I don't remember his name, though. But, yeah. So, we'll be definitely getting
Kalen DeBoer.
Yep.
Kalen DeBoer.
It's definitely like a New Orleans kind of name.
DeBoer. Well, let's move on. It's time to just get into our weekends because we haven't done that yet.
Nope. I need to find out how it went.
It went good.
How was your second weekend with the dogs, man?
It's the dogs have been going pretty well. I'm actually really surprised. There's really been no issues.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, surprising.
Must be a good homestead then.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
We got a good homestead. Situation. Yeah, but the dogs have been doing really good. Saturday, we went over to my parents' house and took them over there to meet my parents' dog. And it's the second time they've met her, but they hung out with us and we cooked.
Get along with Penny?
kind of.
Yeah.
There's 2 pennies now.
Yeah.
So our penny wants to play with their penny, and their penny's like, I don't want to play with you. And then there's like a little issue.
What are the odds of there being like
2
your
pennies?
dog is named Penny too?
And then my brother has a dog named Penelope. So there's like a lot of pennies in our family, I guess.
They like the P names.
Peas. But we went over to my parents' house for like after Father's Day because my brother took him out to dinner on Sunday, and then I was like, well, I'll like come over and cook something. So we went over and made I made Spam burnt ends and brought those over.
Oh yeah, you've talked about those before.
Yeah, and then I smoked cream cheese on the Traeger, and then like made like a blueberry balsamic like
drizzle
thing for the top, and it was really good.
Wow, that does sound fucking good.
And then just like we just made buffalo wings, you know. Like
oh,
wings.
nice.
Yeah.
What a feast.
A little feast.
Hell yeah.
Little feast action. And then Sunday we just laid low, didn't do too much. Just kind of hung out.
Yeah, it was too hot to do anything, man.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much
really
just
lazy
stayed
that
inside.
day.
Yeah. It was like
dangerous
hope
to be
you don't
hot out.
burn to death.
I saw a really good post today that I think one of my cousins shared that was like, if it's over, I think it said like over 95 degrees and you're walking your dog, make sure you put a fur coat on and take your shoes off so you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Dude, Sunday I came back from the store and I see this guy walk just like smoking a cigar. Like he's just like just fucking
he's
puffing
cool,
his chest out, walking a husky and then like a golden retriever. And I'm like, man, dude, you know, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Put him inside.
Well, and shit, the asphalt when it's 90 out, it's like 120, 130.
It's bad for their paws, man.
Burns them.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's always wild when you just see those people out there. It's like noon or like 1, and you're like, why are you walking right now anyways?
Just
why not wait?
take a
or
day off.
do it early.
Yep.
Get up early or do it in the evening.
I'm so grateful for having my gym in the basement, man. Last year, when it, like that whole time when I was living in Kit Ridge and I had to do it in the garage, that sucked, man.
Yeah.
We called it the Sweat Dome for a reason.
Welcome to the Sweat Dome.
We're in the Thunderdome. Yeah. But nice, dude.
Yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Trying to think
pretty
what
chill
all we did.
weekend.
We didn't do too much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, ours was pretty uneventful as well. We didn't really do a whole lot. We went to State House, as usual. Every couple weeks we got to go back. It was great. And then Saturday was a really awesome day. That was a total blast. We got some more stuff for the patio plants, and then Reunion was holding their They always do their fireworks show 2 weeks before. I don't know why.
That's very weird.
Yeah, but they do, and so they light it off not too far from our house. And so we just went out on the back patio, had some drinks, had the fire pit going, and just watched the fireworks show. And it was fantastic. The big kicker is we got our dogs a little drugged up because we would not have been able to enjoy it. It was like the first time of like actually enjoying fireworks that I can remember in quite some time. Because we gave them some little trazodone and some cheese.
Yeah.
And that worked, man. Even Sunday, it was almost like they were like just had a night on the town. They were like
a little hungover.
A little hungover. Felt a little bad, but you know, they're good.
Well, that's good, man.
Yeah. Don't come at me, PETA. It was totally fine. They're cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Anymore, people are just like, yeah, just give them some CBD, you know?
Yeah. That wouldn't have even worked. I mean, there's sometimes on like road trips, I've given like a full Benadryl to Juno, and she will not sit down.
She pants through
the whole time, man.
She pants through it.
Oh my gosh, she's a psycho. But yeah, you know, it was good. I'm glad that I'm just worried about like I'm still a little nervous for when the actual 4th of July comes. Hopefully it doesn't get too rowdy.
Yeah, I'm interested about that too. Not sure how the dogs are going to handle that.
Yeah,
don't really know.
Did the owners say that how they reacted?
I don't remember if they did, but
yeah, most dogs
we'll find out. And our neighbors they go crazy. They go to Wyoming.
Yeah.
They just put up a new Trump flag too, so that's coul.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Yeah,
2024.
Take America back, I think is what it is now.
Oh, nice revenge tour.
Revenge tour. But yeah, so that's the weekends, man. Here we are through the weekends.
Yep. Well, these summer times, man, we just gotta have chill, and it's been so hot and grueling at work that we just gotta really take it easy on our weekends.
Yeah, I try to.
Yep.
I was pretty good this weekend about getting most stuff done on Sunday for the show. It's going to be my new thing.
Oh, sweet.
Just trying to
Yeah,
get
I
as
saw where
much
you were working
done.
on the notes a lot during that day. That's cool, man.
It's my thing. I'm going to try it. We'll see how long that lasts. You know, I'm always like, I'm going to do this now. And then, like, next week, I'm like, I forget about it.
Yeah, well,
But
we try.
We try. We got a lot going on, you know?
Let's talk about some sports ball.
Let's get into sports.
Personal foul. 69. Offense. He was giving them the business.
That's right, and we are giving you the business of football. And this week, we don't have much. Not much going on in the world of football as we wait for training camp to start. But there is a little bit of news brewing as the class action lawsuit filed by Sunday Ticket subscribers against the NFL is expected to begin deliberations tomorrow after both sides wrapped up their cases Monday. Basically, what's going on, it's 2.4 million residential subscribers and 48,000 businesses paid for the package of out-of-market games from 2011 through the 2022 seasons. They claim the league broke antitrust laws by selling its package of Sunday games aired on CBS and Fox at an inflated price. The subscribers also say the league restricted competition by offering Sunday Ticket only on a satellite provider. So basically what's happening is everybody's mad at the NFL for forcing us to watch football however they say fit.
Well, a big reason is because when breaking the antitrust, when I was reading into it, the NFL was saying, oh, well, we were boosting it up that much because you're getting the whole package. And then they said, well, when you advertise the league, you don't advertise the league as a whole. You want each team to have its own fan base. So that breaks the antitrust narrative that you're trying to push. And so that's kind of like the whole contradiction they're getting themselves into. So
yeah, and if the NFL is found liable, a jury could award $7 billion in damages.
I think I saw somewhere where people
it could balloon to $21 billion because of the antitrust cases can triple damages.
Oh wow, man! If this comes down, and it should, I mean, the NFL's we love it. We're mindless zombies that follow it. Of course, it's just
I watch all day long on Sunday,
all day
Monday
long.
and Thursday, and in the COVID year, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep. Maybe we don't pay for it. Who knows? We figure that out. I
definitely won't, especially now that they're ripping us off.
But that's just what's so silly. Is now that they finally switched to NFL Plus, and I can just get Red Zone that way through the app. I mean, it's been a game changer. It's way better. But that's the problem. Is you want to get an NFL Sunday Ticket on satellite provider, and it's like $400.
YouTube now, yeah.
YouTube
I think
TVs now.
They dropped it because they realized how ridiculous it was. I think it was $389 still.
Yeah.
But that's nuts.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, and like people are saying, you get a third of the games for free.
Yeah.
So you're paying for all the other games, which granted, and even then I've said this before, dude, it's too much.
Oh yeah,
it's too much football. I mean, it's one thing if you're recording them, but if you're literally trying to watch the 11 a.m. slate of games on Sunday Ticket, it's just it's
impossible.
I forget what game I'm watching because I'm just flipping so much, and then I stop and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm watching right now.
Well, that's why Scott Hansen is pretty much like the god of NFL because I mean Once I found Red Zone a few years ago, and I
still can't get into it. I'm going to try again. But
I still can't believe you can't, man, because it is a game changer. It's like a routine. She knows that, right now, that's why we're really enjoying our Sundays, because as soon as football hits,
it's over.
Especially when, the Chiefs are on, a primetime game or something, and we don't go to Don's.
Don't bother me.
I go down to the basement, work out from about 11 till about halfway through the second games, dude, and I just got Red Zone on, and it's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
hey.
I love Red Zone's awesome, man. I mean, Scott Hansen will even do it during a fire.
That's true. Yeah. He will. And was that him that wrecked his car a few weeks ago?
No, remember we talked about this last week? He was filming somebody that was trying to do a TikTok during a car wreck.
Oh.
So he was
and then the guy got the watermelon out of the car.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Scott Hansen's a hero on many different accounts.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
But this whole lawsuit was originally filed in 2015 by the Mucky Duck Sports Bar in San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
It was dismissed in 2017, but then 2 years later, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals reinstated the case. So,
and it's a pretty big deal because just like I think it was a couple months ago when we first found out about this, the NFL tried to have the case dismissed, like so many of the other ones, like CTE and stuff. But this one, yeah, the federal court said, nope, you're not getting this one dismissed.
I think we got an issue.
Yeah. So that's good. But I did say I think that if they are found guilty and do have to pay out, I believe that if you were a subscriber to NFL Sunday Ticket during that time frame, you might be eligible to get, I think it's like $1,200 or something back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. No matter what?
I mean, if they're found guilty, I believe.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's like, well, I subscribed every year. Do I get like everything back? You know what I mean? Type of deal. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really think about that. I don't know how. You'd probably have to file some type of application or something.
I'm going to file something. I'm going to file an appeal myself.
Tell them
So.
I use. Never mind. All right. Let's cover the NBA real quick, and then let's move to the big story of the Paul Stanley.
Paul Stanley. Are you ready to rock?
Rock!
Detroit Rock City, baby. All right, here we go.
Take it roll. Take it roll. Outlet.
And then this Kiss song to me today.
Aiden did?
Yeah. He's got pretty good music taste.
Surprisingly.
For a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked, but I can't get into Kiss.
I love Kiss.
Do you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, 70s, like even into the 80s is pretty good. But like the 70s Kiss is rad.
I have a lot of respect for him. I told Aiden that.
Yeah,
but I mean, they started a whole movement. But he sent me this song. And
what was it?
I tried. I think it was called One Love. Not one. That's a Bob Marley song.
Yeah, One Love. They did do a great version of
that. We Are One.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's not a good Kiss song.
But it's kind of almost like a hippie-ish Kiss song is the way
I mean, there's a few songs that just, Kiss it's not good. But the early Kiss, and I hate to be one of the, because I always feel like music snobs, it's always I like their earlier stuff,
But,
I like the first few albums. More often than not, though, that does ring true with me.
Oh,
I like the first couple albums, and then they started to suck.
Even with Tool, I still like their new stuff, but, their old stuff, that's what you resonate with.
Yeah, I watched a cool video of, what's his name? The drummer from Dream Theater. Fuck, I can't think of his name.
It's a badass band, though.
He was doing he had to learn, I can't remember what Tool song. He had to learn a Tool song. And no nothing. They just played him the track, and he had to figure it out. And it took him, I think, 6 or 8 hours, and he's still he's like, I've got it, but it's not right.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's just, Danny Carey's just a crazy drummer, I guess.
He's an insane, yeah. I mean, you look at his drum kit; it's just enormous.
Yeah,
and I'm not keen on music or anything like that, but
I know when you got a lot of drums, you're a good drummer.
Yeah, but I do know how Tool will move to different time signatures throughout their songs. They don't really ever have a chorus.
Yeah, our time signature 4/4.
Nice.
4 on the floor.
Yeah.
Keep it soft and steady, you know what I mean?
Keep it nice and simple. That's like the Beatles, right?
Keep
they
it
just
simple,
went
stupid.
for, for everything.
They might have when they started tripping, doing some weird things. But
yeah, that's true.
They were also just incredibly talented. But let's get into the NBA. We do have a few stories. Knicks guard OG Anunoby has opted out of his contract and into free agency.
That is one that I wouldn't. As soon as I saw that today, when I got home, I was thinking if the Nuggets picked him up, I would not be mad about that.
Probably wouldn't be able to afford him, but...
Yeah.
Anunoby signed a 4-year, $72 million deal with the Raptors in 2020 with a player option for the 24-25 season. When he was acquired from from Toronto last season by the Knicks, the Knicks inherited the terms of the deal, and they risked losing him, and it looks like they might unless they go out and offer him a good chunk of money. But they're thinking his next contract could easily top $35 million per season. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of money.
It is. Another guy that just made a lot of money is Scotty Barnes for the Raptors. Agrees on a 5-year,
Speaking of the Raptors,
$270 million extension. Yeah.
I feel like that was a lot for. I mean, I know he was pretty good last year, but I don't know.
He's like their best player.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have much going on there, though, but
He really is like their best player. Yeah.
he's the
Like
only
the
one.
only one,
He's
yeah.
the only guy.
But let's get to the big news.
Yes, I said I thought it was going to happen
We called it.
when we first started talking about it, and it had a lot to do with the fact that him and LeBron are buddies, and they've got a podcast together, but that podcast is ending, Chad.
It is.
Because it's all business now that J.J. Redick has agreed to be the Los Angeles Lakers' new assistant coach next to LeBron.
Yeah. This just blows me away, man. Like, I knew this, but then when you see, like, I think it was FS1 that put up the graphic that showed J.J. Redick's previous coaching experience. He was a volunteer 4th grade basketball coach for his son. Like, he talked about this when he was on ESPN. Like, oh, like, I was helping my son out. It's like, you're literally going from coaching 4th graders.
Yeah, but we know that he's a smart.
We know what he brings to the table.
He's a
for
smart
sure.
guy.
But it just, on paper, it's hilarious.
It looks well, and then you look at, this is why the Rooney Rule was created in the NFL, is because of situations like this where, there's plenty of assistant coaches, not even just necessarily black coaches, but there's plenty of coaches. The Nuggets assistant coach, I don't know why he wasn't, even thought of in this coaching search for some of these teams. But that is what kind of bums me out, because I do feel like there's probably a guy who's worked his way up.
Sam Cassell.
Yeah.
A lot of people have talked about he deserves a shot.
Yeah, case in point, Sam Cassell right there.
Yep.
But that's kind of what bums me out about it, and it's just like, I also don't like how he's acting like, oh yeah, me and LeBron never talked about it.
Yeah, that's kind of
we didn't talk about it until Thursday, and it was only a 15-minute conversation, and like, oh yeah, like you didn't talk about it at all during one of your podcasts before or after.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you can be honest, like, it's fine. No reason to.
And you could also tell that he's a little salty about it. He knows everybody's talking shit about him right now. I mean, he's in this industry.
Yeah.
But let's just listen to a little bit of what he said. This was what happened when a reporter asked him, if he felt like he had to dispel any of the,
I liked this comment. It was a good remark.
It's pretty good.
It's a valid question, and I've certainly heard everything. It's been a really interesting 6 weeks or so. Just in terms of, being part of the engagement farming industry. It's been really interesting. However, I don't really have a great answer for your question, because I really don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, I want to coach.
The fake reporter laugh.
I want to coach the team. I don't
think they're so
necessarily-
shocked that he cussed.
Yeah.
I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships, and I want my players to maximize their careers. That's all I fucking care about.
I mean, I do like it. It did kind of feel like it was a little bit contrived. Like I feel like he knew he was gonna say that to some degree. I don't know if it was off the cuff. Like, I don't
like
think
how
that was...
smug he is. I think it's nice to kind of have. I mean, it reminds me back when Pat Riley was hired, man, way back then.
Yeah.
Where obviously I wasn't alive back then, but watching all of the coverage and stuff, and especially Winning Time, where he was a very eccentric character to take that role, and he was a guy that wasn't going to back down. One of an iconic scene of Winning Time is when he has to get Kareem to start like listening to him, and especially Magic, and he has to get stern because Pat Riley was always the cool guy assistant coach. And then now you, in the same way, JJ Redick, I mean, he's a guy that it was talked about a lot on First Take. This is a guy that doesn't take no shit, man. And I think he's like putting that right out there for people who don't know right from the press conference. And I can respect that rather than a guy that's going out there, let's say like the Cardinals coach for football. That's like, boo, boo, boo.
That's not Shane Steichen. That's God damn it.
It's Gannon, right?
Yeah, Rich Gannon.
Not Rich Gannon. It's something Gannon. Though.
Oh, that's the quarterback.
I know that's quarterback, but yeah, dude, it's like you either try to be that cool guy that's going to be the player's coach or some shit, or you're going to kind of
doing finger guns at people.
Yeah, or there's the Adam Gase thing where you look like a deer in headlights the whole time.
Yeah.
So you can either go in it and where your nerves can just overtake you, or you can go in there and just really stun on these guys like JJ Redick did. And so I hats off to him for that.
I do feel like he said a lot of the right things. There's nothing that he was going to say because we all know what happened. We all know that this was a LeBron thing. We all know that none of this would have happened without LeBron. I honestly think Dan Hurley was so smart, and we're going to look back and be like, you are a genius for not taking that $70 million. Granted, it was half of or twice what you were making from UConn, but I think we're going to look back on this stint with LeBron and the Lakers and realize that he kind of sabotaged the Lakers into the ground a little bit. Like, they got the one, championship
with an
in
asterisk.
The bubble.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. Like I said, if the Nuggets won that one, I would have been like, I don't give a shit what you say.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But if it's the Lakers, I'm like, you know what? Yeah. It's not that cool. But I do think we're going to look back and see that this is going to be a black mark on the legacy of the Lakers. And this is maybe the final straw, because I think after this, obviously, what's LeBron going to play 1-2 years?
It's got to be just 2 years. Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the end of it. And I don't think, unfortunately for JJ Redick, he will be there after LeBron. I think him and LeBron now are kind of tied together.
Yeah, for a short amount of time. And it sucks because I've always been a big fan of JJ Redick, dating back to whenever I was in 7th grade and a big Duke fan, and watching him be one of the best college basketball players of all time, then going on to the NBA, rooting for him for 15 years, and then now he's playing for a team coaching for a team that I hate. So it is like a double-edged sword for me, and it sucks because I've always wanted JJ to excel, but now as the Lakers coach, to take an objective kind of take on it, I have a feeling that he's going to go into it. He's going to set them up in the right ways, but you're coaching a team with LeBron that's going to be 39, and then Anthony Davis,
he might be 40,
who's basically Glass from he's Mr. Glass from those Split movies. Always hurt. He was actually pretty healthy last year, so let's see if he can do that 2 years.
I think he played 70-some games.
I think
it's the
most he's played in a while. But I think they're going to be riddled with injuries again.
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be hurt and having to load manage, of course. And that's what Redick's going to have to figure out.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a chance to succeed. He's basically going to be fixing things. He's a fixer. He's a handyman. But I hope he does well. Scott, I was listening to Scott Hastings today on Altitude, and he's like, I hope he does good because it's just better for more players, because he thinks former players in the NBA don't get enough chances in the post NBA stuff to go in and move on.
That's why I've really enjoyed Jason Kidd really succeeding as the Mavs coach. I thought that was really cool. I really liked watching Jason Kidd whenever I was in high school. So, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out next year.
Yeah, definitely.
But we do have the draft on tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? Or is it Thursday?
It's Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, yeah, because they do. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll be covering that next week.
We will.
Yep. Well, Chris,
where do you want to go to now?
Let's cover golf, and then we'll go to the music break, because Scottie Scheffler is rewriting history books.
Pretty much. He's damn good at golf,
Son of a bitch, Paul, why didn't you just go home?
He's really good at what he does.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Well, Scottie Scheffler's ball is not too good for its home, as he just keeps winning at an incredible clip now. He is the 4th golfer since 1983 to win 6 tournaments in 1 year, 1 season, whatever you want to call it. The last to do it would be Tiger Woods. He came down to the playoff with Kim, and I do feel like a lot of people were just rooting for Kim because they're like, Scottie doesn't need another one. You know what I mean?
It is kind of cool because Tom Kim and Scottie are really good friends, I guess.
Yeah, I saw something about they posted after the fact, and he was thanking Scottie for something. I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty cool. It came down to a playoff. We had some protesters storm the 18th green and spray powder all over it or something. But, you know.
Rich, privileged kids that don't have a job. That's what they're doing.
So, yeah. But pretty incredible at this point. I don't know. We really haven't seen anything like this since Tiger Woods. And, you know, unfortunately, like, I don't know if it's as exciting as Tiger Woods, you know, because Tiger Woods was such like a, you know, a new thing in terms of golf and just bringing everybody into golf. And Scotty Scheffler's kind of getting the, you know, sloppy seconds in that regard, I guess you could say. So it's not like as wild as and crazy as Tiger was, but it is still wild to see what he's doing right now, especially with his weird ass swing that nobody understands. So
that's for sure. But I mean, he just keeps winning, and you know, it's signature events too. It's not just like some small like PGA Tour thing. You know, this is the Travelers Championship. He's winning on courses that like guys like Jack Nicklaus designed. You know, really tough courses, and that's just what blows me away. Is like golf is so hard to be able to do this over and over again and keep winning. I mean, it's one thing with F1 and Max just keeps winning because you have the best car. Okay, if you're on top of your game, you're going to win.
Yeah.
But golf, there are so many variables. You know, you could just be, your back could be hurting you that day. You'd be getting arrested on Friday.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't do too well that day, obviously.
He finished 8th, I think, still.
Yeah, still. But
yeah, if you look at like all of the tournaments this year, I think he's like obviously the 6 wins, and then a couple.
He finished
had
second, I think, twice.
2 seconds, an 8th, a 41, and a win.
Oh, dude, that's a good point. I saw a graphic where it showed his caddy, just how much money, because the more
you make like 10% or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and his caddy has accrued like nearly $3 million this year. That's more than Jordan Spieth's total earnings this year, man. So his
crazy.
caddy's making more than some other golfers.
He fell off so much. Like Jordan Spieth was supposed to be like the next Scheffler.
He really was.
Him and Justin Thomas
Dustin Johnson.
No, it's Justin something.
Justin Thomas, yeah. And then there's Dustin Johnson,
who's dating Gretzky's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But still, it's wild to see. I think the next tournament is the Rocket Mortgage Classic this weekend. So, yeah, check that out. The Detroit Golf Club. That's probably one of the nicer things in Detroit. No offense to Detroit. It's not your guys' fault. But, yeah, so check that one out starting Thursday. So 2 days when that one starts, round 1. So it's time for the music break.
Let's do it.
Let's frickin' do it. It's Tough Bluff again. The name of these songs, we since they got shorted a week, we're doing back-to-back songs. They got shorter songs anyway, so we're doing TUFFers all week. I believe, is this the last week?
Yes, yeah, because
we'll be in July. Oh, July 4th, Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, we got no, I think it's Wednesday. Maybe it is. No, it is Thursday. Let's see. It's Thursday, so we have the 4th off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sucks we got to come back for Friday.
I know. There's a lot of people that tried to take that day off, but I got denied.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. All right, well, so we got Tough Bluff coming at you here. The names of the songs are Do You Feel It and RATBOY. We will be back here shortly.
When you were here, we left alive. So where'd you go?
And we are back. You just heard Tough Bluff. If you liked what you heard, make sure to go give them a like and follow on all things streaming. All the songs you've heard this month are off of their self-titled album, Tough Bluff. Makes it easy to remember. That album's coming to you thanks to Snappy Little Numbers and Motorcycle Potluck Records. Again, the names of the songs you just heard were Do You Feel It and RATBOY. As well, always, if you like their music, want to go purchase some physical music or just merch or find out when they're playing, make sure to go visit toughbluff.bandcamp.com and you know what? Find what you need there. Otherwise, stick around here with us, as always, as we are about to continue into more sports, because sports are never-ending.
Definitely not, and especially in the summertime, there's always something going on.
Usually, you'd think so.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so, where do you want to go? You want to talk about the old Lord Stanley? No?
No, let's hit the F1. Let's finish off with the Stanley Cup.
Okay, let's finish with that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
Time for the F1. We're going to go fast. Yeah, listen to them go. They're going fast. Well, if you got up early this last Sunday, like me and Chad did, you were able to watch Max Verstappen win his 7th race in the last 10 races. He wins the Spanish GP for the 3rd straight time. And Hamilton, Sir Lewis Hamilton, if you will, gets his first podium since Mexico Grand Prix last year, his 198th podium all time. So
I think he did it by passing his teammate as well, Russell.
Yeah,
right?
Russell right there at the end. Yeah. So, you know, your teammates until you're behind each other,
Yeah.
and then all goes out the window.
You got to shake and bake, man.
Shake and bake, man.
Yeah, Chris and I had a pretty good take on this where, you know, Lando Norris just keeps finishing second, right, under Max. And, you know, there was that one with the Spanish, not the Spanish, that was just most recently. The
Italian.
That was the Miami,
Miami
GP where he won that one. But yeah, pretty much just like Lando never gets to win, and it's almost like Cal Naughton from Talladega Nights just going up to Ricky Bobby, like, you know, can you let me win like one of these times? Man?
How about next time you slingshot me, man?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, then I wouldn't win.
Exactly.
Yeah, Max Verstappen, he wins the 66 lap race with 2 pits in the time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, 20 seconds, and 227 thousandths of a second. You know, that stuff's always just confusing sometimes. But
I don't know how they plan out these pit stops, but it really seems like a really good strategy because
they definitely played it well this last time. Pit stops were huge in the last race too, but those pit stops, I mean, and especially like tires and stuff, there's so much, like, you can take a pit and put the wrong tires on and you're screwed.
Yeah, you go from the medium or the soft, and that just seems to be like the real case. I mean, it's like just the Canadian one where Norris just didn't have enough there at the end, and Max was slowing down. Norris had the fastest lap.
I think it was 5 seconds with like 5 or 6 laps left, and you could tell
it got down to like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, Lando ended up finishing 2.2 seconds behind Max, so he caught up. I mean, McLaren has Red Bull's number. They are not far from, surpassing Verstappen, and at least not necessarily surpassing him in terms of the amount of wins, but I definitely think that here by the end of the season, Norris is going to be battling Verstappen quite a bit down the stretch.
Yeah, I definitely think that for the Constructors' Cup, I think they can really make a push. But as far as the Drivers' Cup, these last 2 races with Max winning really puts a big lead on it now. Max is at 219 points, and then Lando Norris at 150 points, and then Charles Leclerc for Ferrari at 148 points. So, Leclerc and Norris are right there neck and neck. But for the constructors, let's take a look at that, because McLaren and Mercedes just keep putting people up there in the top 5.
Well, and it doesn't help, too, that Perez keeps finishing behind everybody. I mean, he was behind Piastri. He was behind both Mercedes, both Ferraris.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts because when Max pits, like, he ended up in 6th after his pit stop. And then After everybody else pits, he climbs back up into first without, in a blink of an eye. But then when Perez does it, he just kind of stays where he ends up.
Yeah,
it just doesn't really change.
Doesn't gain anything. Doesn't really. Yeah. So
here's a update on the constructor standings. This is the full team standings. Red Bull 330 points, Ferrari 270 points, and McLaren at 237. So Red Bull at a 60-point lead right now.
Nice.
And then next week we will be in Austria.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week. We got like 3 weeks of races now.
Yeah, the next week will be the second one in a row, and then the third one, I just had it pulled up. The British Grand Prix will be the third week in a row for the triple header.
Yep. British Grand Prix.
I did not see the time. Did you see the time for the Austrian Grand Prix? I figured it'd probably be the same time.
I don't know. I'm just fucking
waiting
the window,
this.
damn it.
Loading. There
Loading.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. And then, the Qatar British is 8 a.m. So.
Yep.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
All right, well, we'll see if next week anybody can surpass Max Verstappen. We should mention as well, there's actually a couple other points I want to bring up here. Lando Norris really had a look of disappointment. I mean, he, like we talked about, for the second race in a row, right at the end, he's getting closer to Max. They even play Max's radio where he says these tires are super inconsistent. Isn't that what he said? Inconsistent?
Something like that, yeah.
Where he was starting to get worried. I mean, he's basically hanging on for those last few laps, and Norris just couldn't finish it off. And also another point that I want to bring up, I saw a headline that Alpine is really trying to make a push for Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
That is hysterical to me. Alpine is basically the Carolina Panthers
kind
of F1.
Yeah.
They're laughing. And it sucks because that's who Mahomes and Kelsey owns. Part owner. Very, very small minority owner. But regardless, anything they get their hands in, I want them to succeed. So it sucks that Alpine is a laughingstock. So I don't really think there's a chance of them signing a really good driver like Sainz.
Yeah, money talks and bullshit walks, as they always say. So
very true.
But that's gonna wrap it up for F1. Do you want to talk about MLB?
I don't really have anything for MLB. Did I?
We had a couple things.
I did Scherzer. I think we should mention this because that's kind of cool. It'll just cover this for 30 seconds.
All right, here we go.
Hit it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, my God.
Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut.
Gonna light your ass up, meat.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried
just a bit outside. Well, Max Scherzer's not just a bit outside. He's been pretty on point as he has now tied Mr. Gregory Maddux. Not Mr. Gregory Maher, Mr. Gregory Maddux in strikeouts.
Yeah.
He retired the first 13 batters he faced and 15 of 16 overall over 5 scoreless innings in the Rangers' 4-0 win over Chad's Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, man. I mean, what a return, though. I mean, this is his first time back in, like, actual majors, not AAA or anything like that, since his exit from the World Series last year, Game 3, where he started off like the first 3 scoreless innings and then had to exit the game due to back tightness. So, this is quite a comeback for him to come back and tie one of the best pitchers of all time in Greg Maddux, a guy that was a sniper in striking people out. I mean, Greg Maddux was not known for his velocity by any means, but he could pinpoint and throw different pitches that guys could never hit.
Yeah.
So Tony Kornheiser dubs them because he used to pitch for the Nationals, the Warrior God. I mean, he's won multiple Cy Youngs. 3-time Cy Young winner. Max Scherzer is a legend, and for him to keep moving up on this all-time strikeout list is just unreal.
Also has 2 different colored eyes, which freaks me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's got one blue and one brown eye.
David Bowie always.
Yeah, his 4th and final strikeout Sunday was the 3,371st in his career to match Greg Maddux for 11th on MLB's career list. The 4-time Cy Young winner, who is the brother of the Texas pitching coach. Scherzer is second among active pitchers with his strikeouts, 215 wins, 449 starts, trailing Justin Verlander in each of those categories. So he's doing pretty dang good, you know?
Right, he is. Yeah.
But hats off to Mr. Max Scherzer. Sure.
We'll give you guys an update on the standings next week. Baseball's still going. There's a lot of baseball.
It's hard when baseball's so long and your team sucks.
Oh, maybe we should mention that, though. Dude, the Rockies are on historic pace.
We might lose 107 games.
It's not just that. I think I tweeted this. That's what I did. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Because their bullpen is really bad.
Yeah, they're always bad, and they're historically bad this year.
Got it. Right now, their ERA for the Rockies bullpen, 5.78.
Those are the guys that come in and are supposed to not let any runs.
Not let any runs. Literally just like 2 or 3 innings. They're giving up almost 6 runs.
Yeah.
Highest in the majors. I don't know what this is. It says WHIP. What does that stand for?
Oh, shit. It's wins or...
I know. Either way, they're the highest in it, 1.63. Batting average against.
Oh, walks plus hits per inning pitched.
Okay. Yep, well, they suck at that.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yep, batting average against, 0.290. That's also highest.
Yeah, there's, people are almost hitting like what gets you into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. How many strikeouts they average? They're averaging 7.32 strikeouts, 3rd fewest. And then what's BB stand for again?
Ball. That's box.
That's okay. Yeah, 4.43, 2nd highest.
Yeah.
So I hate to bring it up, but man,
they did just win the first ever game due to a pitch clock violation on Tuesday, I think.
They won due to that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a guy on third, and the guy, the ump even was like, let it go for a while. And the batter was like, yo, the pitch clock, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
And then they're like, oh, shit, yeah, I guess so. You got to go home. And they won.
That's what won it. Wow. What a horrible way to win.
Yeah, that was against the Nationals. So screw you, Nationals.
Yeah. They'll take it on a technicality.
Yeah, hey, we can't win, just normally we got to let the other team win the game for us. So,
yeah.
But
well, all right, let's move off his depressing Rockies.
Poor Rockies.
Let's go to some hockey.
All right, let's do it. Well, it's over.
It is.
It's happened.
The Florida Panthers have their first Stanley Cup.
Yeah, in over 30 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Let's see.
What?
I was going to read something I just saw, and then I scrolled, and now I've lost what I was going to read. So,
well, let's just talk about it.
Oh, it's right here. It was their third title appearance in Florida's 30-year history. They were swept by Colorado in 1996 and routed 4-1 by Vegas last season. And now they return, which is incredibly hard to do, make it all the way back, and then not only make it all the way back, but make it over that final hill.
Yeah, I think this was a great microcosm of the NHL hockey season for the 2023-2024 season. Because if you haven't heard, the hockey ratings this year were way up. They were the highest they've been since 2015. That's not a whole lot long. That's only about 9 years. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a good sign. More people are getting into it. ESPN's doing a good job covering it. I really enjoy PK Subban's takes on it. He was really on point with the Panthers. He had them picked last night just because of their defense, man.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't. I saw a stat last night while I was watching the game. It was around, I think, 6 minutes left, and they hadn't had a shot on goal since like minute 15 of the third period.
Yeah.
Because they were like, it basically, I think their coach told them before at the second intermission, go in there and just play defense.
Yeah.
Don't even try to score. And that's what they did.
Yeah, just shut him down.
They shut
well,
him
you've
down.
got Bobrovsky, who I guess in the Conn Smythe voting only got one first place vote, which I think is crazy. Most of them were for Connor McDavid, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, Bobrovsky made 23 saves, and Sam Reinhart and Carter Verhaeghe both scored goals, and the Edmonton Oilers lose 2-1 in the Game 7 final. And then, I mean, just to even get to that Game 7, I mean, if I'm an Oilers fan, I'd be like, I can't even believe we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it sucks to get there and lose, but to lose the first 3 games the way they did, come back, win the next 3, and be sitting there with the Panthers on their heels at home, you had the prime opportunity, but to beat a team 4 times in a row is incredibly hard to do.
And
no
then
matter.
go down to Florida and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we were talking about it at work where like we looked it up on Google Maps. I mean, everybody talked about how far these guys were, 2,500 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
If nobody's ever heard of where Edmonton's at, put it in your Google Maps and take a look, because we're here in Colorado and it's basically way north of us. Directly north of us.
Yeah.
So they had to fly all the way down there to Florida. And I mean, it's just, you think about I mean, they were tired. Those last 2 minutes, you just kept expecting them to be desperate, really playing with their hair on fire, and they weren't. They didn't have anything left.
I mean, you look at like Leon Draisaitl, I think he had 0 shots. He was a -1 the whole game. This whole series, he was terrible.
I was going to say, the whole series, he was bad.
He fell off. Connor McDavid, you want to know what's crazy? Check out this stat right now, though. Connor McDavid had less goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs than Valeri Nichushkin. And he only played 7 games. Or no, 9 games. So Valeri Nichushkin, the Avalanche player who got suspended, had 9 goals, and Connor McDavid had 8, and he played the entire postseason.
That's crazy.
But it's all assist. I mean, you look at that game last night, he had his hand in everything that happened. He was just facilitating to everybody. He's basically like a point guard out there.
He really was. And his assists are insane. The highlights and just watching how it's almost like watching Jokic play hockey is a great way to put it. I think. And really, I wanted to bring this up because I feel bad for this hockey player that's on the Oilers. I don't know his first name, but his last name is Hyman.
Zach Hyman. Yeah.
He had a chance to win this game. I don't know if you remember this sequence, but it's probably 5 minutes left to go in the game. Connor McDavid, they make a shot on goal. He's really good at taking the ricochets and trying to put them in the right position for somebody to knock him in. He gets it through somebody's legs, and it's right there for Hyman to slap shot it in. And it's like, dude, I mean, when they showed the replay, it's just almost like a movie where he hesitated. He just choked. And you see him like stutter with the stick. And then in that half second, that's when it was too late and somebody had already gotten to him and the play was dead. But and then it's crazy because then after commercial break, you see Connor McDavid go to the bench yelling at Hyman. You know, he was saying, dude, it's right there. He had an open net. Just hit it. And that would have tied up the game. Probably sent it to overtime. Unbelievable, man. I mean, they were that close, and the whole narrative would have been different. But
yeah. Well, and then the big thing is, we were just talking about Connor McDavid. He is the 6th player to have won the Conn Smythe while being on the losing team. So,
well, he also racked up more points than anybody except for the great one and Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
I think he was 4th all time in points.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Well, I think Gretzky has one that's never going to be touched. It's like 60 or 70 or something like that.
Well, and I think he has second place and third place, and then Mario. No, maybe it's just second place, and then Lemieux has third place, and then now McDavid's got 4th place for the most points. But I mean, to have like 42 points in a playoffs, like that's insane. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, and he is clearly one of the best players. I don't know if he's going to win the Hart. I think at this point you kind of give it to him just because you feel bad that he lost the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you would feel bad, but you would think that would go to.
I thought it was going to go
Lightning, dude. Why can't it man, it's
Nick.
Man, I know these goddamn hockey names just kill me. I can't think of it. Brandon's gonna be yelling.
Yeah, it's not. Is it Zadorov? Nikita Zadorov?
Something like that.
God damn it!
But dude, let's talk. We got to talk about the actual champions. How about the way they've celebrated? Did you see the photos of them taking the Stanley Cup to the elbow room?
Oh yeah, and just like pouring drinks from like up like onto people's faces.
They took it to the ocean, man. I mean, I honestly did not want to see a Miami team win anything. Kucherov, thank you. Good call.
Nikita Kucherov.
That was good. But it is kind of cool to see them being able to celebrate the Stanley Cup in a way we've never really seen by taking it to a beach, taking it to the most infamous strip club in Miami.
Yeah, well, there's one thing about, and I think hockey does it right, is it's all about the team. You know, you look at when the Super Bowl's won, it's the owner that gets the trophy first, and then the coach, and then it's just hockey. It goes right to the players on the ice.
Yeah.
And they get to celebrate with it the way they want. And, you know, we're going to probably, we're only a day into it. I'm sure we're going to hear in the next couple days a whole bunch of crazy stories. The Stanley Cup in and of itself, I'm sure that guy that carries it around with his white gloves has some insane stories.
He's got some work to do now.
Oh, yeah.
Clean off ocean water.
I did see, though, I don't think anybody dropped it this year.
That's
so
good. Yeah, I know they've had to buff out some dents and stuff.
Abe Kubel dropped it last year for the Avalanche.
Might have some titty juice to get off of it after the elbow room.
Some secretions, who knows?
But yeah, hats off to the Panthers. I mean, you hate to see that. I mean, I thought a really good quote, I don't know if we mentioned it on the podcast, was how he brought up the Bills when he was asked like what type of motivation they have. I'm butchering the question, but basically asking them what they thought of, you know, getting to the finals last year against the Knights and then losing, and he referenced the Buffalo Bills, how they had went to 4 Super Bowls and then fell flat. It's basically saying like there's no reward in any of that. Nobody remembers second place, and for them to come back and do this with, like we said in earlier shows, now with a fully healthy team. Yeah, that defense.
Yeah,
was
they were
just
the
insane.
better overall team.
Yeah,
Edmonton had the better players in terms, like we mentioned that last week too. Is basically like an overall team versus two of the best.
Draisaitl's he's gonna have a long off season, man. He had a horrible playoffs, bad series. I mean, there was a few games during the playoffs that he was decent. Even in the game, I think it was Game 5, he had a good assist, but overall, he's got some work to do.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy about his performance, so he's going to have to sleep on that one till the next season starts. So
yeah,
bummer
dude,
summer.
hockey's just nuts too. I mean, I really think like this is, and it's nuts that it wasn't really the Avs run. I mean, that really got me through the door of like really appreciating hockey and getting into it. But this whole playoff run, you know, the Avs were knocked out. I had no really reason to watch, but it was for the love of the game, honestly. And to me, I just think it's fascinating where like, you know, there's not too many times where like a touchdown scored where it's just bobbled up and then somebody ends up with a ball. It happens like on Hail Marys and stuff like that. But the amount of times a ricocheted puck goes in, that first goal last night was insane. It was a ricochet that just happens to go in.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things up in the air in terms of hockey, whether it's ricochets, people, you know,
is it
using their
offsides
face to score, you know, whatever it may be.
Their skates even,
yeah.
I mean, it's really like, dude, always love playing air hockey, and it's just a tiny little inkling of like what that's like on a grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and then imagine skating around at fucking 30 miles per hour.
I don't know, man. Oh, dude. No way. Those guys are athletes, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for the NHL, I think. You got anything else you want to add?
That's it, man.
We're at our normal cutoff time. We did want to get into the UFC, but
oh yeah, I forgot about that. But
we're gonna have a UFC guy on breaking down 303 with us next week.
Yeah. Well, just I'll spend like 30 seconds previewing it in case people forget. This weekend, UFC 303, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. 2. This is going to be the second time they fought. The first time, the ref stopped it a little early. So I'm excited to see if how it's going to end up because I hate to see those early stoppages. A bunch of other good fights on the card. Diego Lopez, my buddy Josh Harris is a big fan of his. Looks. He's a very weird-looking guy.
His face upsets me, but aside from that...
Well, it looks like he actually, in his spare time, sings for Fall Out Boy, but...
Oh,
Diego Lopez.
Yeah. No, I was like, what do you mean?
But he's going up against T-City, man.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega, dude. Yeah. He's a legend. So, I mean, and there's a bunch of good other... Michael Venom Page versus Ian Gary. That's a really good one. There's not a whole lot on the early prelims or on the prelims that really stand out to me, but
Yeah,
we will be
we're looking at
recapping it next week. Alex Pereira always draws the numbers. He's always got a highlight.
Andrei Arlovsky's fighting in the early prelims.
What
is he, 45 now?
Yeah, dude. I've been watching him since I was in high school. It is so crazy that he's still out there, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. But yeah, we will be having an MMA guy.
MMA.
Yeah. He does a UFC podcast called Couch Warriors, I believe. Yep. So we'll be excited to talk to him. But other than that, I think there is one man.
There's only one way to end the show.
That's going to tie a bow on this.
Yeah, not a bow tie like Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter wears.
Yep, a little different.
A little different of a tie. We're going to tie one on with Mr. John Daly as he hits it hard,
That
man.
good boy vodka.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man.
Far.
No laying up, no holding back.
Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact.
Hit it long, man. Long. Till it's gone, man.
Gone.
Keep taking chances.
Living large.
I hit it hard.
All right, it is time for the daily dose of excellence, and we're taking it to the track and field this week.
Yeah, I think it may be the first time we've ever handed this to a track and field athlete.
Yeah, Miss SHA'CARRI Richardson.
A star.
And was a little bit embroiled with an issue with the Olympic committee when she tested positive for marijuana and had her
Do you know why
medal
she
stripped, I thought.
She admitted to using marijuana. Do you know why she did?
I can't remember.
So apparently, a few days before the Olympic trials of the 2021 Olympics, she had found out that her birth mother had passed away, and so she used
She got a little
cannabis as a little coping mechanism. And because it's banned for the Olympic committee, they wouldn't let her run, and it's just a tragedy because she is really fast.
She's really good at running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So SHA'CARRI Richardson will finally have the chance to compete in the Olympics after winning the women's 100-meter race at the United States track trials. The 24-year-old sprinter finished the Saturday race in first place with a time of 10.71 seconds, maintaining her status as the fastest woman in the world and solidifying her spot in the upcoming Paris Olympics. This, to me, is a really good story because of where she was at after not being able to go to Tokyo and now getting her chance to race in Paris. She says, "I feel honored. I feel every chapter I've been through in my life prepared me for this moment." Richardson said following her victory via multiple outlets, "The emotion was just joy because of the hard work I put in, not just physically on the track, but mentally and emotionally to grow into the mature young lady I am today."
Yeah. And, like we said, it's cool to see somebody come back, especially after the whole issue she had, where she was subsequently suspended for 1 month, and she was no longer allowed to participate. I thought she had her medal taken away, but I guess I was wrong. I spoke out of turn on that.
Yeah, she was never able to.
She didn't even get to go.
I guess when I read into it, she could have raced in a relay because that would have been after the 1 month suspension. But I think she just decided not. I think it was like, nah, I'll just wait. But yeah. I mean, she's been winning the track and field championships. She's been in the news a lot for just basically being super fast. So we're excited to see her in Paris.
She's real good at running.
And to redeem herself like this, we thought what better person to hand it to her than somebody like John Daly that was notorious for using performance-enhancing drugs.
Unhancing.
But bouncing back from it and just focusing. So hats off to her.
Yeah, indeed. And then I did want to mention another thing that also happened at the track and field.
What's that?
I don't know if you've heard about this, Chad, but a 400-meter runner got stuck in a porta potty and was trapped before her race.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I did not know about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It looks like less than an hour before her semifinal at the U.S. track trials, 400-meter runner Kendall Ellis was trapped in a porta potty, banging on the door and screaming for someone to let her out. Thankfully, someone did, as she won that race in a personal best time, then came back Sunday to top that mark and win the final, along with the national championship and a spot in the Olympics that comes with it. So yeah, when she should have been stretching and training, she had to go. Nature called.
Yeah,
and then she got stuck in there.
That seems to me pretty clear that somebody just was a little afraid of her. Maybe it was like a
maybe
different
somebody
competitor.
went over there and like stuck it, because I've done that before, like a shovel and stuck it on the porta potty and wedge it, and you can't get out.
Yeah, so that's what that seems like to me. Someone's a little scared of her.
Someone's trying to sabotage.
Pretty interesting.
Y'all, it's a sabotage.
Hell yeah!
But Jinx,
we did
Cokes. Continue.
Hats off to SHA'CARRI Richardson.
Yes.
We'll be watching you in Paris.
Yes.
Not live, but we will on TV.
Yeah. But hats off to you.
Go America.
And hats off to each and every one of you that tunes in each and every week. We appreciate it greatly, whether you're watching the stream or after the fact, listening on wherever you get podcasts or on our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate you guys. Make sure, as always, to like, share, subscribe, and follow all things we do.
Please do.
And, we'll be back next week for episode 90.
90. That's right.
90.
Tune in.
Tune out.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.